Okay, for episode number 8 of the podcast, which is self-discovery part 2, we're talking about how to discover yourself. The therapeutic art prompt is this cute little accordion book here, and I will just do a little demonstration real quick how to make it. It's not that hard, but I'll just show you real quick. So you just take a piece of paper, fold it in half, and then cut it. So you have 2 pieces of paper, and then fold it in half again. You fold it forward, not forward, just fold it in half, and then, but then you want to take the edges and fold them back, if that makes sense. So, let me show you. So that you have like a little W, okay? And then you do the same thing with this one. Fold it in half. Fold the edges back. So you have a little W. And then you take both of these. So you want one to be a W, and then the other one you flip over to make an M, okay? And then you just hook them together and glue these 2 pages. Got it? So you have a little accordion book. So if that's too complicated or stressful or whatever, just do this on a regular piece of paper. But I just kind of like the format of this, something different. So then on, let's see, on one side, this is the front of one side, I want you to just write or decorate, cut out, collage, use stickers, whatever. You don't have to use words, just paint it. But this is like, how are you going to create the life that you want? The question I really like to ask myself is like, what is the most fun life I could imagine living, right? So then I just put some things on here. This one is actually part of the other side, so it's just like the front page of the other side. So that's mine. One of the questions I really like, one of my favorite ones that I read on the podcast and you also have in your email, is what would you do if you knew you could not fail? Because I think it, like, first of all, makes us realize that we're not doing things sometimes because we're chicken, right? But also, I think it just gets to the heart of like, what are your dreams, you know? So for me, what came up is I would love to do art retreats in France, like therapeutic art retreats in France someday. I just think that would be like the most fun thing. So that's like my big dream that came up when I asked myself that question. And then you flip it over, and on the other side, do what are the beliefs that you need to address or modify in order to live this most fun life? So for me, like the idea that I need to know everything before I get started on something, then I have to be an expert, that I, whatever, that sometimes I have imposter syndrome, like I'm not qualified enough or whatever. Like this idea really holds me back. So that's something I need to change. But there's a lot of different things. This one, you're only as young as your neck. Just this idea that like women have to be beautiful all the time to be worth anything. That is a bunch of crap, right? So what are the things that like really make you second guess yourself, or beliefs that, just are holding you back in some way? Things I just want to let go of. Yeah, so hopefully you'll like that. I thought this was fun. So some of the reflection questions are, what thoughts and feelings came up for you during this exercise? And yeah, I told you about the therapeutic art retreats in France. The other thing that kept coming up for me, which I thought was really interesting, is just, especially on the side where I was doing like my dream life, my most fun life, I kept getting this like feeling coming up of like, what if I die or get sick and I can't do any of this? Which was just interesting to observe my brain doing that. I think sometimes in order to keep us safe, our brain gives us all these reasons like why we shouldn't be going out there and doing things that it perceives as dangerous, right? So it's like, well, you might not get to do therapeutic art retreats in France. So like, what if you get sick and you can't do that? It's like, you might as well not try. It's just like a silly trick our brains play. But that was interesting that it was like, kept coming up for me, and I just try to notice those thoughts like, yeah, okay, brain, thank you, noted, I'm going to do this anyway, right? So yeah, what thoughts and feelings came up for you during this exercise? Do you feel capable of creating the life that you want? And what beliefs are still hard to let go of? So if you're having a hard time, sometimes there's thoughts that we like intellectually know that they're not true, but we still believe like maybe that's not true for me, like maybe I'm not capable of that. So if that's coming up for you, one thing I like to use is just using the phrase, it's possible that. So like, it's possible that I could be someone who made $1 million in my business. You know, so whatever it is for you, like, can you believe that like it's possible, or someone else like you has done that? Like, you know, there is some possibility that I could do that. And that's easier for me to believe, like, as I'm, you know, getting toward letting go of those beliefs. It's just like a baby step toward it, if that makes sense. And then the other thing, I don't think I said this when I was showing you this, but one of the things that my brain likes to believe is that I need to feel good all the time, right? Like there's this idea that like happiness and contentment or whatever should come to us if we're doing it right. And that's just not true, right? Like life is 50-50. It's like half good and half bad, no matter what. And so, but our brains like to be like, well, I'll do that when I feel more motivated, or I'll do that when I feel more rested or whatever. So the belief that I'm trying to let go of is that I need to feel good all the time, and in order to like create the life that I want. So, you know, I'm just trying to let that go and like notice when my brain does that, and just remind myself like, I'm going to do things scared, I'm going to do things tired, I'm going to do things resistant, right? Like, for example, every time I go downstairs to do my workout, my brain's like, no, I don't think so. Like, this sucks, you know? And I just decided like, I don't need motivation or whatever. I'm just going to like go downstairs and do my workout with all the resistance that comes with it. I'm going to walk into my drawing class and feel nervous. I'm going to, I always enjoy my oil painting class when I get there, but my brain never, like, I just never want to go. It's coming up with all these excuses of like, why I should stay home this time. So just, you know, embracing, I'm going to do things whether I feel like it or not. Waiting around to feel like it is just not useful. So that's what came up for me. Show me what you guys come up with. I love to see your stuff, and let me know what you thought of this exercise, if it was helpful, if this little booklet worked out for you, or if it was too annoying to make. Yeah. Anyway, love you.